Okay. Right now I forgot to open my microphone on Spreaker, so what you just heard did not get picked up on the radio. But unfortunately, because I forgot to turn my mic on. But it was that the Iowa caucuses, there was a rumor going around that Ben Carson suspended his running for president. And coming up, you'll hear the reason for that and accountability. Also looking at the compelling video of a tornado in Alabama. Much videos that coming up later. And we talked about the Zika virus. It's all coming up. You're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online on Spreaker and on Hangout. Seems today no broadcast can survive with just audio alone. GJRB on Spreaker will always be there, but now GJRB has gone visual with the GJRB YouTube channel. Subscribe today and see live streaming of the Gary Russen program, Way Out There, Sports Page, and radio and television classics. Also, many other specials along the way too, including a video version of News and Comment and a video message from Pastor Ron Johnston from Christian Community Fellowship Church. Yes, GJRB is now visual. Subscribe to the GJRB YouTube channel. It's free. Just log on to YouTube and type in Gary Russen in the search engine. Coming soon. Watch or listen to GJRB on the new GJRB website, GJRB TV, on YouTube, on your computer, on your TV. Subscribe today. And we're back on GJRB Online on the Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online on Spreaker and on internet radio, GJRB Online on Spreaker, also on Hangout and live video as well. So check that out. We got that coming up right now as we bring you that. And glad you could be aboard with me today, the Gary Russen program. We're starting this off with News and Comment as we bring you that first, as we always do here on the Gary Russen program, here on GJRB TV Online on Spreaker as YouTube channel, and also on the internet and on the radio on the internet. Getting started first off, though, earlier this week, there was the Iowa caucuses. During that event, there was a condemnation from Ben Carson, calling a dirty trick on the part of Ted Cruz's campaign. He got an earful from MSNBC's Micah Brzezinski for it in response to Cruz's campaign issuing a public apology to CNN. But CNN was part of the problem that started on this. During the political team campaign, CNN post saying that Dr. Carson was not going to carry on to the New Hampshire primaries, nor is he going to go to the South Carolina campaign. Our campaign updated the grassroots leader just as we would do any other breaking news. That's fair game. This is from CNN's people. This is their apology. Okay, this is their apology. It went on to say that what the team should have done was to send around a follow-up statement from the Carson campaign, clarifying that he was indeed staying in the race that came out. And that was a mistake on the end of our part, says CNN, from our end, and we apologize to Dr. Carson. So what they did actually was they stated that Ben Carson's campaign was going to drop out of the race when it wasn't true. And so what happened was, on account of that, and I think that this story is reliable on that part. Dr. Ben Carson showed up on a show. Ben Carson showed up on a Fox News program, and he stated that I'm going to go to that playlist here real quickly now. I want to see where I can get in on that. Let's see, where is that? I'm going to go about 2 pieces back on my YouTube here real quick and see if I can get that where I had just posted. On that, that's the opening. I don't want that. I want the next one over, which is the one on Ben Carson. I'm going to do that right now and show exactly what was going on there. I'm going to see if this mic picks it up. What I'll do now. Okay, I want to see if maybe we could try this again. Apparently, it's not playing. Actually, Ben Carson accepted the apology of the Cruz campaign. Okay. And but he said there's accountability in a situation like this. Okay, he says that it seems that no one accepts accountability for this, and that Carson's campaign, right? And this is what he said on a Fox News program here recently. What he said was that okay, here we go. I'm going to go to that point here. He said on a Fox show recently. Here's what he said on a recent Fox program. I'm going to go there. Where's that? Okay, Okay, a recent Fox program, and this is what he said on that program. Check this out. I'm not getting it. Okay, wait a minute. For some apparent reason, it's not playing audio here. I'm going to try it again. Okay. I was going to do it. Okay, let's see if we can share screen. No, I want to do that yet. Okay, let's see if I can go back over to my other screen here real quick. Okay, here's what he said on a recent Fox News program, and what he stated on that program. So I'm going to do that here in just a couple of minutes here. Wait a minute while I get that situated, and we'll do that. Okay. All right, I'm going to play that now. I'm going to go to my screen share real quick. Do a full screen. Okay, and what he said. Check this out. Still not here. Okay. For some apparent reason, we're not getting audio on this, so I'm going to have to, let's see if I can do something here to remedy that problem. Let's see, why am I hearing it for some odd reason? Let me check my volume control on here and see if that's the issue. Let me check. Yeah, volume's up. Okay, for some apparent reason, it's not letting me do it. Okay, so I'm going to have to... There we go.
As Christians, of course, we accept people's apologies, but we also have to ask ourselves, is this acceptable to us, the American people, or should there be some accountability? You know, one of the things that really irritated a lot of people about the current administration during the IRS scandal and other things, nobody ever is accountable. True. Nobody's head rolls. And is that going to...
Okay, this is an interesting way of doing this program, so be patient with me as I'm trying to do this. If it didn't come out, oh well. He just said, apparently what he said is there's no accountability when it comes to the way they do things here. No accountability whatsoever. And he thinks that it's politics, folks. That's all there is to it here. It's politics. It's all it's about. It's what it's what politicians do. Okay, and basically, he's just saying that it's accountability, but politics is dirty business. It's strange bedfellows, and they're gonna the spreading of lies and stuff like that. That's what goes on in government. Okay, that's what goes on in government. That's what they're good for. Politicians lie. It's what they do. Unfortunately, for the Dr. Ben Carson campaign, fortunately, he is going to go on. He's going to go on to the. He will go on to the New Hampshire primaries. He will go on to the South Carolina, and he's going to continue his campaign. And we'll keep following here on GJRB. Here's another interesting story that I want to talk about. This is a fascinating story, and of course, it deals with the sexually transmitted disease Zika. Has been in the news lately, and I was doing research before I came on the air about it. And I'm going to go to my Facebook page temporarily here. You won't see it. I'm going to just find that story. I showed you at the beginning of this, the bugs. Did you see the picture of this? There's mosquitoes that carry a disease called Zika. Okay, this is a pretty nasty disease, but we don't know all that much. I don't know all that much about it, but I'm going to go to a story here in just a couple of minutes. My Facebook decides to take me there. Computer decides to take me there about this disease, and it's a mosquito-carrying disease, but whether or not it's sexually transmitted, that remains to be seen. And I want to go to my page here in just a couple of minutes. As I know, I'm doing a experiment broadcast here, a three-way between GJRB Online on Spreaker using my studio console. So I'm on here on YouTube, GJRB TV on YouTube, doing the same thing. I got a three-way simulcast on the internet, and then I'm using my three-way. The third way is something you won't hear unless you were in the neighborhood and happen to pick us up on our 9-foot FM signal on FM radio, 107.9. Those are the only ways you'll hear this program other than the computer. So if you're in the neighborhood, you want to this, that's where it'd be 107.9 here in Clinton on the north end. But for right now, though, I keep this together and keep on going. So what I'm going to do, if this doesn't work out like I'm thinking it might not, I'm going to do this once in a while, but it's going to be every other show is going to be YouTube. Every other show is just going to be radio. And tomorrow, I will be doing the Gary Russen program, the best of the Gary Russen program. And that's going to be here only on Spreaker. Only on the internet, only on Spreaker. You only hear this on the internet. It's the Gary Russen, the best of the Gary Russen program. And I'll be playing you some segments from past shows ranging from September, October to Christmas, close to Christmas. That'll include that interview I did with Ben Osan, so you're going to hear that one again. We'll have that one on, so you're going to want to check that out. That's going to be coming up on this broadcast, so check that out. That's tomorrow, Spreaker only, on GJRB Online. So get on Spreaker at www.spreaker.com and come on aboard. All right. Like I said before, this is News and Comment, and News and Comment continues throughout the Gary Russen program, all throughout this show. And another announcement is this show is going to be slightly abbreviated today, since I came on an hour later. The Gary Russen program is going to only be on the air today till about 5:30. Okay, 5:30. We're not going to. I don't have that much material today. I've been off the air since about 2 weeks. So with that in mind, I decided to kind of put a delay on the Gary Russen program this day because I had to clean the computer real quick first. So I decided what I'll do then is I'll just make this a slightly abbreviated edition of the Gary Russen program, and then next couple of weeks we'll be back on the air with a regular program. I'll give you the schedule later. Anyway, the established and the mainstream media continues to look at some of this hysteria going on regarding Zika virus. It's causing birth defects, but there's not so much information that's being put out. Now, this is according to End Time headlines. Mainstream media is false narrative is causing a public to fear the benign viral infection. True origins of birth defects and brain damage go unstudied. The mainstream media also fails to tell the whole story of why Zika has become such a big problem in Brazil. In recent years, the outbreak has been connected to a release of geologically modified mosquitoes in 2012. It has become the newest health scare. The media is like trying to put on this stuff, okay? The media wants to scare you over this, okay? This is what the mainstream media does. It's your scare tactics. That's what this is about now, okay? This is your scare tactics. And I got the video, I got the posting up here. What they're saying now is that the health authorities are urging women to delay pregnancy. According to news reports, multiplying the scare tactics, warning people not to travel or procreate. Pictures of babies from shrunken heads to small brains are being flashed across the screen as Zika is being blamed for causing a record number of birth defects. Birth defects called, don't even ask me how to pronounce this, microcephaly. I guess. I don't know. Anyway, the birth defect is real. Affected newborns' heads measuring 32 centimeters or less in circumference. But causes are not fully understood yet. Causes are variable and more likely resemble chemical toxicology, something like that. Don't ask me. Vaccine damage and also pesticide exposure and drug interaction. So, I have to wonder about this a little bit, in that, how real is this? Okay. Should there be, the fear that the mainstream media is putting out on this? It's hard to say. I really don't know. It's an amazing story. It is, and I'll follow the Zika virus and future Gary Russen programs. I will talk about it more because this is one that is for the books. I got to tell you, I think that this disease, being carried by mosquitoes. Now, if you're getting bitten by a mosquito carrying this Zika virus, who's to say that anybody could get it, not just pregnant women? Okay, who's to say that? Because, wait a minute, what kind of, really, who's to say that that would do that? Just be pregnant women all of a sudden picking up this disease. Okay? Have to wonder about that. Because there's a little bit of a problem with this, okay? I see it. All right? Like I said, I'm going to follow this disease. I'm going to do some studying on it, and I'll be talking about it always here on the Gary Russen program. Something comes up about Zika, I'll be talking about it. Okay? Alrighty, let's continue now. This is news and comment on the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online, on Spreaker, on the internet, also on the internet radio, and on GJRB on the internet, GJRB LP FM. That's our 9-foot FM radio frequency. And this is where you're hearing the Gary Russen program. So there you go. Alrighty, right now though, I want to continue what we're talking about. Got some more interesting things that I want to bring about here. Yeah, how about that? Well, let's talk about that. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Here on the Gary Russen program. The Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is Sunday. And here's one. Who do you get to pick for the Super Bowl? Who do you think's going to win this game? Either the Carolina Panthers or Denver Broncos. I'm looking at undecided. Although, from what I understand, the Carolina Panthers are being favored. Okay. Don't know by how much, but they're being favored. And, well, I'll be talking about this more on the Gary Russen program today. So check that out. And we'll have all that coming up. And, of course, like I said before, this is Freestyle Friday. That means anything goes and can go. Anything goes on this program. It's just nonstop fun. You know what I mean? So we've got a lot really going on. Anyway, I got an interesting story coming up. This is fascinating. There's a video. Okay, there's a story here that I'm going to be talking about. And it's a fascinating story indeed. It's really cool, actually. I'm going to find it here. It's a story that I found the other night. Let's see. I'm going to look for it here. It's got to be down here on my saved. Because I saved a lot of stuff on the Zika virus. So I want to go down a bit to where I found that article. And there's an article about a guy who, in, I believe it was 1967 or 68, recorded this very, very, very first Super Bowl. Recorded and back in those days, I guess he had video equipment. He had probably one of those early reel-to-reel, because there was videotape. When videotape was invented, it was a very expensive thing to have. You were well-to-do if you had a videotape machine. You were well-to-do. And this guy recorded the very first football game, the very first Super Bowl on a reel-to-reel videotape. Okay? Very first Super Bowl. And I don't know, I thought I saved that article, but apparently I must have not. The story goes, though, that NBC, the network, is saying, do not sell this video to a third party, because it could mean legal action. There's a lot of copyright here probably being violated, because here it is. It's the NFL refuses to pay $1 million for this video. Check this out. And we're going to talk about $1 million. You imagine that. And coming up in just a little bit here on GJRB, I'll be talking about that story in this next half hour of the Gary Russen program. Remember, Freestyle Friday edition of the Gary Russen program. That means it's whatever goes, okay? Whatever goes, So be aware of that. Anything goes here on the Gary Russen program on GJRB. So I hope you'll stay with me. We've got a lot of good things coming up on our show, and I hope that you'll stick around and have some fun. And, it's all about fun. It really is here on this program. And for local listeners, we would have had the Dave Vickers and local news headlines. 4:29, we'll have local news. We're going to stay on the air, and we will have another headline update later on. So when we do this program and we do a triple simulcast, there will be some things eliminated off our program log, okay? So I'm changing things on Freestyle Friday. That means that we're making some changes in our regular lineup. So local news on 9-Foot Signal at 4:29. All right, I'm Gary J. Russen. We'll be right back with more of the Gary Russen program. Stay with me. Got a lot more. As we'll be talking about... this football thing. You're going to love it. Be right back. Stay tuned. It's going to be a great show. The Gary Russen program on GJRB online, here on Spreaker, and on video on the internet. We'll be right back in just a moment.